According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ghost guns, which are firearms without serial numbers that can be easily assembled, have been a part of the American gun culture for decades.
And that would be considered 80% the lower half, and then they would order the other parts.
But the ATF says their use in crimes is an issue.
Whenever we execute a search warrant or an arrest warrant, it's now almost a normal thing for us to find one or more ghost guns as part of these enforcement actions.
Federal agents in Hawaii describe a dangerous trend seen in their state and across the country. The ATF reports in 2017 more than 1,600 ghost guns were recovered by law enforcement agencies. In 2022, that number was more than 25,000.
I mean, you didn't have to be a gunsmith or take any particular course. They cause just as much harm and damage for a fraction of the price.
The agency also says online sales and 3D printers have contributed to an increase.
They put it together themselves and it would be considered a fully functional firearm.
You also don't need a background check to buy one of the firearm kits.
Experts warn that could mean easier access for people who shouldn't have guns, including teenagers.
Reporter John Carter has an in-depth look at what's being done to help keep your family safe.
Can you tell whether that's a ghost gun or a real gun? Well, actually, ghost guns are real guns. They work just the same, and they're as powerful as any other gun. But there is one significant difference. Let's take a look at these two right here. These guns look identical to me, basically. They're both, 9mm handguns?
Yes.
What's the difference?
The only difference is one has a serial number, and we can tell where it was made, who manufactured it, and the other one does not. So it is, in fact, a ghost gun.
That's ATF Special Agent in Charge Alicia Jones showing me a confiscated ghost gun at the ATF gun vault here in Charlotte. Again, ghost guns have no serial number.
You have a gun in a crime scene that has no serial number, it makes it impossible for law enforcement to trace these firearms, and tracing is a tool that we use to investigate these violent crimes. We are trying to keep our community safe, our children safe from these violent acts that are taking lives with guns.
But I guess I just wasn't prepared mentally to think that an 18-year-old could build a gun in his home.
A primary concern among law enforcement is that because they are so much easier to obtain, more and more ghost guns are getting into the hands of teenagers. In fact, in a recent case, a Charlotte teenager bought a ghost gun on Instagram and accidentally shot another teenager in the chest.
I think it's always scary, no matter how the juvenile gets the gun. They're all very scary because you have somebody who mentally is not mature enough maybe to make those decisions to prevent violence.
And it's clear that many underage children are getting gun kits, something the former CEO of Polymer 80, the largest manufacturer of gun kits, apparently acknowledged in a letter regarding a company promotion. The letter was used as evidence in a lawsuit against the company. The former CEO wrote, "I get calls periodically on our pistol sales because some 16-year-old kid has ordered a pistol using his parents' address and credit card." Polymer 80 is facing several lawsuits claiming the company has skirted both federal and state gun regulations. I've contacted Polymer 80 several times to get a response, but have yet to hear back. Meanwhile, both Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police and the ATF say it's important that the community get involved in reducing gun violence, whether it involves ghost guns or any other type of weapon.
I think you should care about it if you care about your community, if you care about keeping your kids safe, if you care about, not seeing people suffer from violent crimes and getting shot.
11 states and Washington, D.C. have banned or restricted the purchase or use of ghost guns. There's also a federal regulation on the table that would make firearm kits easier to track, but as of late 2023, it was tied up in federal courts.